Hey, this is the franchise Shane Douglas.
It's the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander, and you're watching.
And you're watching.
Yamane, aka WWE.
Here to this podcast and Ollie Harper, my man.
And you are watching Ollie Harper at YouTube.com.
And you're watching the Ollie Harper Show on YouTube.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's me, Ollie, aka TNSAttitude, and I am back again here on YouTube.com for all things professional wrestling. Now, today, guys, I wanted to do my early predictions for WWE WrestleMania 41. You know, I feel like I try and do these early predictions videos because, in a lot of ways, you know, you come out of SummerSlam and you're looking forward with the WWE's direction on their storylines and character development, and you actually see early signs, early plants, early Easter eggs of potentially where they could go into WrestleMania season. And it's kind of fun. And I always like to do these early predictions videos because I always like to look back at them in the 6 or 7 or 8 months time and go, hey, I was right. That was going to happen. And, you know, I always think they're fun. So this is my current idea on where I think WrestleMania 41's match card is going to go. First of all, off the top, I feel Rock Roman is pretty much guaranteed. We're going to see the final boss Rock versus this new face turn, this new tribal chief, the original tribal chief, Roman Reigns. I think that is a blockbuster for Las Vegas, and I think I'm all about it this year, you know, and I think a lot of fans are, that everybody would be, you know. Roman is now coming back with such a face pop, the momentum is on his side, and really, you know, everybody was crying out for Roman Reigns for the last few months, for the last several months, pretty much post-WrestleMania. He's gone into a new level in terms of his tier in the WWE, you know. He's not just the tribal chief. He really has come back now, and he's on this like legend level. And it's really is, you can see it, you know, he's in that new level now. He's like a legend, you know. He's not here that often, but when he is here, you appreciate him. And I just think that Rock Roman, Mania 41, Vegas, that's for sure. That's going down. Night 2, maybe. I think that'll be a night 2 thing for sure. Marquee match without a doubt. So yeah, you put that down there. I think there could be a great storyline. Also down to the fact that this whole new bloodline, old original bloodline, all can be tied in very nicely. And you know, Solo can almost be the guy who was just there as a pawn behind the final boss Rock. They could work with that if they wanted to do that. I definitely feel, and Rock could be bringing in all these other talented Samoan wrestlers that are all tied into the family in some way. It was always the Rock. He was the puppet master all along. That is definitely where they could go with that. Now then, let's discuss, of course, John Cena. Now, John Cena has announced that 2025 is going to be his final year competing in the WWE as an active performer, and it will be, in fact, his last WrestleMania. And, you know, I feel like I'm going to put it out there now. I think that John Cena, now he's never been the Intercontinental Champion, and I do feel that this is where I think a John Cena Bron Breakker match would definitely have my interest. I feel that whether or not it happens in terms of how Cena could be the IC champion before Mania and then Bron was to get it back at Mania. But I do feel that Bron Breakker and John Cena, that right there is a match I think they could definitely go with for Mania 41 as an early prediction. I think Cena works with a younger talent for Mania, as I think I've said this before on my Cena retirement video, but more on the basis of more to go with the fact that, you know, he's going out, he's passing the torch, and he's doing the right thing in terms of going in and doing good business to really, you know, move the company forward. So I think that's something from where I feel they could definitely go with John Cena for WrestleMania. He will definitely have a match on the show with one of the younger guys. throwing a Braun breaker. Okay, so talking also, I also feel like we're going to be seeing Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Again, this was a match I believe we were supposed to get at 40. They've got all the ammunition, they've got all the writing to really pull the trigger on this one for 41, as long as Punk doesn't get injured again, or Rollins. And, you know, I think a lot of it also, you look at how things are right now, and Seth's actually taking some time off. Now, the way I look at that, from an educated point of view, you look at that, if Seth's been granted some time off, I would say that is down to the fact that WWE has bigger plans for him in the future. And they don't want him to get banged up so sore that he is unable to compete Mania season. So, you know, this whole, you know, being written off with the Bronson Reed attack, it makes a lot of sense if down the line they want to get, obviously, Rollins and Punk in the ring for WrestleMania. Now, whether that's for a title, who knows? But definitely, I believe that CM Punk and Seth Rollins is a match for WrestleMania 41. And I'm all about that. I think that is a damn great match. And also, another thing that I want to just share is the fact that I noticed how quickly they moved Rollins away from Punk after SummerSlam. It was as though they really just want to keep them away from each other for now. And I think this is, again, something that they can go back to and revisit when the time is right. But for right now, they just want to get Seth healthy and take some time off just to recover from whatever injuries are you know, nagging him in for the next few weeks. So definitely a good call on WWE's behalf, just to kind of do this this write-off for now. But yeah, so that's 3 matches. You know, we could go on. I feel another thing that's pretty likely, I think Tiffany Stratton's Money in the Bank, I believe she's going to carry this right to Money in the Bank. And what I do also feel is, I think, well, she's going to carry the Money in the Bank. Did I just say right to Money in the Bank? I mean, what I meant to say was she can carry the Money in the Bank right till WrestleMania. I mean, I don't believe we've ever had a female cash-in on WrestleMania. So this would definitely be a cool thing. And I feel that, you know, I think Tiffany will maybe turn face. They can do a lot of good work with her this year, really develop her, keep that briefcase as long as possible, and really evolve her. I think that Tiffany Stratton is a superstar in the making, and I think she could potentially be one of the best. She could be a really good babyface. So whether they, you know, take a slow burn with this, and whether they decide to have a cash in on Nia, if Nia keeps the belt till Mania, they could go in that direction. But for some reason, I just feel Tiffany walks out of Mania with Money in the Bank. With the Money in the Bank and cashing in. I just see that. I don't know what it is. I feel that is something they could really go down the road with. I also think Gunther is going to keep that World Heavyweight Championship until Mania. The reason why is because with Gunther, you know, he was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. And, you know, he had that IC title for such a long time. It really gave the belt some prestige until Sami Zayn dethroned him at WrestleMania. But I actually think, well, if Gunther can keep the Intercontinental Championship for the time that he did, then why can he not have the World Heavyweight Championship for the same length of time? You know, the amount of work that Triple H has put into Gunther since being on the main roster and down in developmental is that, you know, Triple H has a lot of time, and I think he's very passionate about what Gunther brings to the table, what Walter, even if we're going to go back in time. But I feel that, really speaking, Gunther could keep that World Heavyweight Championship right up till WrestleMania. And I do believe that this is, again, where we could get Brock. Brock comes back, Brock Lesnar, Gunther, World Heavyweight Championship match. I don't know how Brock gets into the title picture. I wouldn't waste the Rumble on him. I do feel that maybe you give that Rumble win to someone like Randy. Randy gets the Rumble win. That could then throw into Cody. They could do something like that. But yeah, I would say Brock and Gunther at Mania right now is what I'm feeling, because it's got that larger-than-life feel for the grandest stage of them all. I feel that Gunther could really do the same thing with the Intercontinental Championship, what he did with the Intercontinental Championship. And he's now doing it with the World Heavyweight Championship for the next few months, just going through everybody, going on such a rampage, and then the next big thing comes back, and boom, you're setting up such a interesting kind of thing of two absolute behemoths in Vegas. I think that would be tremendous. Also, let's talk about, of course, some of the other matches. So I think we could also be seeing the breakup of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. I think that this could come down to a lot of things, whether Bianca turns heel or they decide to turn Jade heel. I do feel like they're keeping them together for now through the next few months, but I do feel that that breakup could very much be a thing. And yeah, I also think wild card idea that, you know, this could have also involved a championship, whether this, you know, in the WWE Women's Championship could come into this in some way, and then that could really set up a feud between these two if they want to take off Jade's, you know, pretty much her first into what is now like her first, we'll be into her second year in the company, but yeah, I could see something pretty cool with that. But other than that, I think for right now, those are kind of my early predictions for WrestleMania. You know, anything else they decide to go with, we'll have to wait and see. I expect some multi-man matches just to try and get as many people on the card as they can. This is always seems to be what they want to do, whether they throw in another ladder match or, you know, an Extreme Rules or whatever they decide to do, what they did on 40. They really do try and cram it up as much as possible just to get as many people on the show as possible. But I would love to hear your thoughts. And of course, I can't forget Drew McIntyre. Again, they could throw him into the Punk and Rollins situation. It kind of depends really with Drew, because obviously, where does Drew go after this Punk feud? So there's always that to think about. But other than that, those are my thoughts for currently Mania 41. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know below this video. Who do you think? What's your thoughts on the ideas for WrestleMania 41? Who do you think is going to be competing? What's the ideas at this point in the game? I'd love to hear your thoughts, guys. Anyway, that is that. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and like. I'll catch you down the road for another video. I'm out, guys.